Aha, I'm a minute early. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Yeah, that Imperial Fist, it's still impossible. It's still impossible. What do they expect from me? Magic. Magic. You expect magic from Cupcake Conjurer. I'm not able to draw a circle with paint because to draw a circle, first you need to draw a head. And then you need to erase some details, and then erase some more details, and then eventually you're just left with a circle. But you can't do that with paint. You can't just erase the paint. You can paint over it.
Just in time to eat a cupcake.
No, don't eat the cupcakes, Cuptle. Oh, yeah. Just in time to eat the cupcakes. Hi, Blair. Hi, Blair Boris. How you doing? How you doing today? I know that we're meant to have a morning stream, and it's now an afternoon stream. For those who don't know, because you're not on Blue Sky or Discord or whatever, I had a power cut earlier today, and it kind of interrupted the entire plans to, you know, stream in the morning. Hi, everyone. I tried to change. YouTube does not work on my phone very well, or at least, you know, like trying to do things like updating streams and stuff like that. Very, very difficult on my phone. It doesn't like it. I can watch videos. I'm trying to do other stuff though. Much harder. Much harder. Oh, hello. Hello. It's a little man. Yeah, so we finished this guy yesterday. Even look, I put dust on him. Yeah, I got this thing called Sepher Dust. There it is. Where is it? Chef. Sandy dust. Yeah. You're eating boring leftovers for your breakfast and lunch. I'm getting groceries today. Ooh, nice. What did I have? I had sausages, chips, cheese and carrots. Yes. Look, it's filthy. It's a filthy boy. Covered in mud. This guy's also covered in mud. Yeah. Grime. Oh. And so is this guy. Oh, they're all covered in mud. We need to clean the armor. And this guy too, I put dirt on him. I put dirt in his eye. I didn't put dirt in his eye. I put dirt on his cape. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. Oh gosh. That's green stuff, by the way. And so is this bit here. That's also green stuff. That one isn't. That one's plastic. This one's green stuff. That's green. You can actually see some of the green poking through. That's a really weird pose. I'm not a big fan of this pose. Not sure why I posed him like that. I think I wasn't a big fan of this pose before I put the head on. I was like, how am I going to put his head on? And I thought maybe if I just have him looking up at the sword, it would look cooler, but nah. Nah. Well, not everyone's going to be a winner, are they? Like, this guy's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. This guy is also got a weird pose. I put his arm a bit too low down. I should have put it higher up. This arm. It's fine, this guy. You can see a bit of green stuff there as well. You can see a bit of a greeny green. Oh. But yeah, we got some fancy lads we need to paint. We're gonna paint them up. Oh, look at that. Look at that fist. It's an Imperial Fist. I've been watching Andor. Again. I just watched, like, what is it, episode 6 or 7 or something, and it's so sad. It's like, of Andor. Of season 2. But yeah, I got painted these guys black last night while watching Lord of the Rings. Extended edition fellow. I've never watched the extended edition of a Fellowship. And I'm getting to scenes, I'm like, did I just forget that this scene occurred? Or is this part of the extended edition thing? I'm not sure with it, what it is in the case, because I sometimes forget things. I like important details. It's been years since I watched Lord of the Rings. But yeah, what do I want to do next? I think I want to put ish. Okay, I think I want to do the knee pads and these shoulder pads next. I'm going to need to get thin-ish brush and get some administratum grey. But how's people's days been going? I hope your day's been going super well. Oof, I need some cola. I need some cola. Yeah, my day's been going a bit weird. What's it called? I've also just been not feeling great today. But we had a power cut, knocked me for a loop. I could have actually still streamed. But by that point, I'd already cancelled the stream and I had other stuff to do and I'd already, yeah. Then I was like, do I just put the stream early? It's like, no, I've already changed the time once. I've already changed the time once today. We'll just leave it as it is. Also, I mean, I could have streamed, but it's one of those things of the way sometimes the power comes back on and you're not sure how long it's going to stay on for. So it's just... Oh, did I spill some green paint there? I spilled some green paint here at some point. I don't remember doing that. Right, yeah, let's get some paint on his knee pad here. Yeah, I like you starting doing my base whites with administratum grey because it's easier to work with and it will form a nice base layer for your whites to go onto. And it's got really good coverage, so it can cover quite easily things like black and other colours. It wasn't dry as chalky as other light colours do. Oh, let me get this out. Let me get my magnifying glass out so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Oh, do you want to see something hilarious I saw yesterday? I posted it on the Discord, but just in case you didn't see it. Where we go? We'll go up. We'll go up. We go up. Open image in new tab. Ah! And then if I click this button, look at this. But no, this thing, look at this. Step 1. The base coat was painted using a 1-to-1 mix of Regal Blue and Charadon Granite. He kept this in a pot as he needed it for later. The cloak was highlighted using the existing mix, with half as much bleach bone added. Joe blended the cloak outwards using previous mix but adding more bleached bone for every thin layer applied and then going up to skull white. Oh, so this is pretty simple. So just do this, then do that, then do that. That's pretty simple. You can do that. Then step 4, Joe painted on this initial design using thinned down bleached bone. What? He just painted on that design, not to deke. He just did it. Next, he began sharpening it. Just tell me how he did this. Like what? Oh, that is absolutely insane. Joe is just built different. I also like my little message that I did for it. It's like step 1, nice and simple. Step 2, very easy. Step 3, not too hard. Step 4, the hand of God had no part to play in this frightful visage. Nor the devil's leaf fingers so skilled of a dark craft to elude mortal men could have achieved this. No, this was achieved through means so much more esoteric and eldritch that surely my eyes must be lying to me. Surely this is a mere jest, and when I blink I will see reality for what it is, and this mere fantasy of a design will appear for what it is, an illusion conjured by a tired mind that's seen a little too much cola and paint this evening. Yeah, like, draw the rest of the owl. This is draw the rest of the owl energy right here, isn't it? I mean, it's not meant to be a guide. It's meant to just be going through the steps of what he did. Oh, but also for something else that's cool here. Rumor engine. Look at this. For some foots. For some feets. Someone lost their footsie foots. Is it Wicked Witch of the West? Is it for Wicked Witch of the West? Also. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. Yeah. Is that the old Vessin one? Or is that the new one? Hi, Rahel. Also, do you want to see something fun? Look here. Look, just here. Just there. Can you see where it's meant to be red, but they got a bit of a bronze on it and they didn't correct it? And also, if you look really carefully here, you can see where the yellow line doesn't go all the way up, but it's still a bit grey there. Yeah. I like noticing tiny little mistakes like that on their work. Like, oh, they make mistakes too. Oh. But yeah, this is a really cool mini. I like it. Oh look, it's got a little reef on his storm bolter. Oh, let's go. We Orcs is happy he's back. Yeah! Yavik is back. People are happy. The Orcs seem happier than anybody else. The Astra Militarum peeps have just been complaining about the lack of Steel Legion in the trailer. Which, honestly, fair complaint. Because, I mean, that was my initial complaint, wasn't it? It's like, where's the Steel Legion? What Armageddon? They even mentioned the Defenders of Armageddon. You know, for ones at home. I mean, mention them is one thing, but what about Show Don't Tell? Where's my Show Don't Tell Games Workshop? Also, people noted that the Orcs in the animation might have actually been commandos, which I find hilarious. It's like Games Workshop lost the 3D files for other Orcs. Also, the way the Orcs died was a bit interesting. Like, it wasn't as dynamic as the rest of it, or as fluid, which made it feel a bit like a placeholder animation of them dying. That was meant to be replaced, but with the entire things being announced earlier than they anticipated. Maybe the animation wasn't fully finished and they had to rush it out. Which would be sad if that's the case. There we go. Yeah. Just bit by bit, we'll get this painted grey. And then we'll do the other shoulder pads. And then get it to being white. Oh gosh, I'm tired. And after that, I think I want to get some luxury and purple done. No, we can do for rake off flesh actually, and for purity sealy stuff. And for tabards. Yeah, I feel like I did this bit quite well, you know, just under the chest. Didn't do the bit hanging between the legs very well. With the green stuff. Doesn't look too bad now that it's got some paint on it, mind you. Hope YouTube algorithm doesn't hate me too much for pushing back the time off the stream. It's not my fault I had a power cut. There we go. Oh. I'm hoping we get some Armageddon Steel Legion, but I'm not expecting them anytime soon. I kind of anticipate that we're going to get Catachan first, and potentially things like Mardi and Iron Guard before them. But with so many complaining, they might push forward the idea of getting the Armageddon Steel Legion. But if they've not started the designs of a model and building them yet, then we can pretty much expect it's not going to be for at least half a year before we get any sign off them. Oh. I like the models we've painted so far. I felt like we should paint 3 at a time now. Simply because it will just help be a bit more productive. Painting them in large batches is kind of difficult. But painting them 3 at a time, I think it should be fine. I think it shouldn't take much longer than doing 1 at a time. Especially with the helmets on. The unhelmeted ones might take a little bit longer. Oh no, that was the one that was done. This is the one that's not done. Yeah. It's interesting that he's got the Templar cross on him. Hi TA, how you doing? Oh yeah, have people seen the video I put up last night? The what's it called? The short. Yeah. Version 2 is coming. It feels so real. I've still got stuff I need to do for version 2. Oh, that's what I meant to do last night. I just got busy doing loads of other things instead. I've realised I've not made a new overlay for V2. It's one of the things I just forgotten to get around to. And I thought, you know what? I made this one, like this overlay here. I made it by hand, and it's really, really cool and professional looking. And it's not too noisy. I can just make another one. I misjudged. I misjudged how hard it would be. You hope Carnifex are sleeping today, so there'll be no distractions. Look how much I've already done. We got 3 guys primed in black or based in black already. And this guy's already got the grey on him. And this guy's already half done for grey on him. Oh, it's like, okay, I did do that last night. So, you know, maybe that's cheating. But, you know, I'm for Vtuber. I decide what's cheating and what's not. And I say, for me personally, that's not cheating. Anyone else does it, it's cheating. For me, no, that's not cheating. But how are you both doing today, Denizen of Misery and TA? Hope you're doing well. Because I certainly am not. No, I'm doing fine. For those who don't know, stream was delayed because of a power cut this morning. There we go. Oh, I don't think YouTube likes me having power cuts and stuff and having to delay streams. It's very upset with me. So yeah, we're just trying to get the white knee pad and the white shoulder pads done at the moment. At least just getting the white done from. After that, I think I'll probably just try neatening up the black on the process. Power cuts are fun at night because it's pitch dark and you're finally alone with your thoughts. But power cuts are best when you're asleep and when you wake up, the power cuts over. Actually, no, it's not fun because it's like for power cuts around me because like everyone's house alarm to go off. Which is not fun. The thing about power cuts though is like once your power comes on, you don't know how long you're gonna have it because often they turn it on and then after 10 minutes they're turning it off again. And they repeat that over and over. Today that didn't happen. They turned it back on and that was just it. It was back on. But yeah, so it becomes very difficult to plan your day around them. I was like, I could actually stream in the end, but I'd have to change the time again. And I'm not sure if the power cut will, you know, have the power will cut again. Or not, because if it does, there's no point trying to stream. Yeah. but I was overly cautious. I mean, they did say it wouldn't be fixed until like an hour after the stream start. And I even got a text saying that it won't fix until then, like after the power came back on. So I'm like, oh, okay, the power's gonna turn back off again. And it just didn't. The text was a lie. Sometimes the power doesn't come back until morning because the lightning struck a pole somewhere. Yeah, I don't think that was the case here. Because in Britain, we don't really have that type of, you know, power poles all over the place. We sometimes have like long distance power poles where you know got those massive pylons, but you can hit them with like 20 lightning strikes and nothing would happen. I forgot to get water. Okay, I've got to BRB. I'm just going to BRB to get water. I apologize. Hello. Yeah, in Britain, most of our electricity comes from, you know, underground. That's where all our power cables are. It's only when we've got like really long distance connections that you know, it's above ground, and those are just giant pylons that can take a good. Like, they're designed to take lightning strikes. So usually when you have something like that, it's very often like someone was doing gardening and they dug too deep, or some construction crew dug too deep or whatever. Or if there's like a really, really big bang, like a truck fell over or something, and it caused enough of a shake to damage the lines underneath the ground. Which I'm actually surprised. Like, I only learnt the other day that Americans mostly have above ground electricity in a lot of their cities. Or at least a lot of their power is. Even if one of the major lines broke, the major lines generally have like multiple power cables working. So if one of the power cables breaks, generally it doesn't shut down the entire thing. And very often, though, just because it broke doesn't necessarily mean there's no power coming to us anymore. So it's weird. It's weird. No, usually the thing that actually causes it, from my experience, not usually, but quite often it's like a damaged transformer. Like, the transformers are often above ground, even when the rest of the power is below ground. They'll have cables going below ground into the transformer, then back out still below ground. If the transformer gets damaged, you know. And often if it's something like that, it's basically similar to like a circuit breaker. So, right, we learn to live with them. Oh, that terrifies me though. Like, I would be really scared in your situation, just like always of power cables everywhere. Like, no, we just put them underground. And then someone digs up too deep and they hit a power cable and they get electrocuted. So we very rarely get, you know, that sort of issue of, you know, a live power cable on the ground. Like, just flapping about. You will see, like, lines and stuff going from house to house. Sometimes, but usually that's not power, that's something like telephone wire type stuff, internet cables on the odd occasion. It's likely some sort of communication cable anyway. Sometimes the power, usually not. It does happen, but rarely live wires, just dead cables hanging. Oh. Yeah, I guess they do have like safety features to prevent from being live when they do die like that. I think that's one of the things we also have with our underground wires. But as soon as there's a breakage, it turns itself off. There we go. A bit more than anticipated there. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. I really should use a thinner brush to get the details here, but I find if I use a thinner brush, it becomes much streakier and much lumpier because you have to do much more strokes to get the same coverage. There we go. Oh. Is there any character or model that you'll want back? Like, now Yarik's back, are there any other characters people would want to see? Because I kind of would like to see... Yeah, well, lots of these just random characters you had in the old story, the old codexes, sorry. Like, you had Corella de Vil for the Dark Eldar. Absolute Feck. You need Feck to come back with the Dark Eldar. Was another character. I can't remember her name though. Of the Dark Eldar. But I want Corella de Vil to return. Love Corella de Vil. Who else is there? I like some of the other Guardsman characters to come back. Like, had you platoon commander characters? And the tank commander character? All of them would be super cool. One of them was a Foistran, was a Valhallan, was a Talon. Basically, each and every single of the regiments that we did had at least one character. I think there's a Mordian Iron Guard one as well. Space means it would be fun to see Scout Sergeant Tellian again. For the Ultramarines. The town more named Etheus because I don't find the generic one fun. And it makes me always run Foresight. I feel like at the moment they don't know what to do with ethereals. Like at one point, ethereals used to be like a way of adding some extra melee. And back when every single faction was kind of like just the same as one another. Like every single faction had something that did the same as a similar faction. For instance, chaplains and commissars were basically the same thing. The Ethereals was effectively equivalent to like adding a chaplain to your army or a priest. Kind of like adding not a chaplain, a commissar and a priest to your army. In other words, you can fix your failing morale and it can fight relatively well in melee and boost rolls around it. Which is basically what just commissars and the priest did. And then you had your honor guard, which were really good in melee. For Tau at least. But until Twinlands, they seem to be moving away from letting the Tau be good in melee. Even the Kroot seem to like weaken. Like sure, the Kroot got an extra attack now compared to what they used to. But compared to every other melee threat, they didn't get boosted as much as the other factions did. A very nice blue commissar. Yick. Well, it depends. Not all ethereals are nice. A lot of ethereals are kind of nasty. But yeah, because the crew didn't really get that much of a boost in melee compared to like the orcs. They went from having 1 attack base to having like 3 attacks. Gained a bunch of strength, gained a bunch of toughness, but became really, really serious melee threats compared to even before. Space Marines all suddenly have 3 attacks, even if they're a shoot-to conversion. And they gained that extra wound. Tyranids are all gaining a bunch of attacks, at least the melee ones are. So the crew can hold their own in melee, they can definitely beat a non-melee threat from most armies. Oh, and removing the initiative also got rid of the fact that the crew were relatively fast in initiative. Hi, Blair's Boldness Devil. How are you doing? Oh, hello, Briar. Why do I say Blair? I said Blair by accident. Briar, why do I say Briar's Boldness Devil? Oh. Hi, Briar. How you doing? I saw you were streaming. Wait. The auto shout out works perfectly. It does because I figured out what I was doing wrong. Hi, Seredwin. We're painting today. We're painting. If you're wondering why that bit's green, it's because I used green stuff, which is a type of modelling put to here. And I didn't get the spray on there. That's also green stuff. Raya sounds like a vampire name, and I only see her streaming Fee Rising when I check. Pfft. I'll take it Fee Rising is a vampire game. Hi, Bayazuji Itadori. How you doing? How did your stream go, Briar? You're playing a school simulator or something. I watched for a tiny little bit. I didn't say hi because I was busy. You're doing well. I'm doing well too. We were watching Bri do a game about setting up a school and being a headmaster. Yeah! Did it go well? Did you become the best headmaster? Welcome to our humble lair. Yeah! Well, I get bombarded constantly by things. Why? I'm gonna get a head trauma, you know. I've got to be like, why did you get all this head trauma? I'm saying it's not related to service. I was a Vtuber. Oh, that makes sense. People just throwing stuff at you all the time. If they throw any bears at you, it's like, yes, so many bears. What about bikes? Yes, so many bikes. How did you know? Well, got a big bear claw mark in your head. I've also got a big mark in your head that looks like a bike. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hi, Anthony. There we go. Did someone say yeet? Did someone say head trauma? Maybe. Maybe. Ah, stop. Why? I suppose about ba. I'm in the ones that I do. I see bizarre. A full I'm in the dustin and a look at this and battle. I know lots of it. Watashi wa cupcake desu. Watashi wa cupcake desu. Cupcake. Cupcake. Hello, Paladin Stem. Ow! Why? That was right to my throat as well. Oh no, I think we caused a concussion.
Watashi wa Cuptle desu.
Yeah. Watashi wa Cuptle desu. Watashi wa Cuptle desu. What else is there? Oh my god, kawaii. 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 Kawaii, kawaii. Kawaii is scary. Kawaii is cute.
Watashi no nawak ira yoshikage ren sanju sansai.
What does that say? I don't know. I don't know enough of Japanese to know what that says.
So I had an interesting night. Have you ever seen a portable speaker go off like a grenade? I never wanted to, but I have now.
Oh, I have not seen that, but I'm not surprised that it did. Oh. Hi, Matidas. How you doing? How you doing? I'm just here because the picture of the thumbnail is very cool. Thank you. I'm not normally a cat. They just turned me into a cat. I'll be going back to normal soon. Soon. So I'm just getting loads and loads of just notifications. Nothing important. There we go. It's Akira Yoshiga, mem from JoJo's. Oh, I'm not a cat. I hope you're okay. I had an interesting night. I found like Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. So I started watching it while I was painting these guys black. Look at Goofy. Wow. I also built some Corsairs. Finished my Corsairs. I had like 4 Corsairs left to build. I've just been struggling to find the time to build them. And then I remembered just now that I was meant to be making an overlay. I might just hire someone to make a good overlay for me. So yeah, for those who don't know, this is a colour scheme. Actually, this isn't the colour scheme I'm going for, because we're not usually painting the left arms as an Imperial Fist. This guy's special. This guy is special because he fought alongside the Imperial Fist, and to honour that, he now has this arm as an Imperial Fist. Yeah. Oh yeah, I also made these guys' legs all dirty. Yeah, this is a colour scheme we're going for. Yeah. And, this guy. And this guy. As you can tell, every single guy who doesn't have a helmet right here. Including this person who's got the full helmet right here. But he's also wearing half of a helmet over his face anyway. So it's like he's just got 2 bottom halves of a helmet. You know, he's just got a spare helmet. The top half got shot off. It's fine. We're painting this guy. No, we're painting these 3 guys. We finished these 2. By the way, this squad has a lot of bobbly shoulder pads. Look at that. Bobbly shoulder pad. Bobbly shoulder pad. Bobbly shoulder pad. Bobbly shoulder pad. I don't know why his shoulder pads are so much thinner than everyone else, like the other bubbles. But they are. A shoulder pad. It is a pretty cool shoulder pad. A little bit more work to make it, but it's fine. After I painted one of them, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually a really cool design. I'm going to use more of them. Like, I thought it was going to be hell to paint, but then I actually kind of liked what we did in the end. So I was like, you know what? I'll do more of this. I need to get some paint medium. Eternal Optical won 5,000 from the slot. Yeah, nice. Wait, I'm now in Chibi mode. When did I become Chibi mode? Oh gosh, it turned me into Chibi mode. Oh, hi Borealis Eyes, how you doing? You lost your green paint? No, you can't lose your green paint. How did you lose it? Did you just like misplace it? Were you like out at the shop where you were painting and you left your paint there by accident? Did you take it in your bag when you went somewhere and you dropped it and it left your bag somewhere? On St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day. I never knew that. Why did no one tell me? Why did my power cut on St. Patrick's Day? I have no idea how it got lost. I couldn't find it on my table when I was going to paint my Dark Angels. Oh, that's horrible. I lost my Eldar Corsair Star Reaver, or whatever it's called, canopy piece on Tuesday last week, and I still can't find it. I dropped it on the floor. I've like cleaned up so much, moved everything out, and I still can't find it. What am I trying to get in the spirit? No, you can't say that. That's racist, Talan. Bad, Talan. That's considered very bad. Oh. Oh. I gotta buy new paint soon anyway. Oh, that's fine. I've got way too many paints at the moment. I'm trying to use a stinky command. Oh. Sometimes the commands, like especially use stinky and stuff, they might be on what's it called? Oh, but what is it called? Queue. They get queued. So sometimes you have to wait for, like, if you change me into my Chibi model, it might be queued so that it won't play while my Chibi model is up. It will play when the boss model comes up. So if you just use a command, if you use a command, it didn't work immediately, but it didn't tell you why it didn't work. It probably did work. And if you just keep trying to spam it, it's just going to queue them all up. So I'm going to come back now. And see, I start crying. And then I immediately stop crying because it queued up the second one. There you go. I found my private source of free. Anyone saw the horrible? Yeah, I didn't see the entire thing, but I did hear people commenting about the ENvtuber doing the stupid AI stuff again, and no, people were not happy. People were not happy about it. And they've been doing a lot of backpedaling since, and damage control. Which is about time that companies start realising they can't get away with all the AI stuff. It's a bit like, you know, this age verification stuff, using all this AI tech and stuff, whatever. Hey, invasions of privacy it is.
Yake no Yuta.
Everyone, I'm very happy. Nice. Maybe St. Patrick's is real. Kick a snake in his honor today. No! Remember, the real reason there's no snakes in Ireland is because our Crusader Kings characters took them all to India to do just infinite assassinations.
So yeah, the battery in a portable speaker had a fault and cooked off. No real damage, bit of soot and a melted cabinet door. Kitchen stinks.
Oh no! Oh, be careful with the smell. Because those types of things, if they're burning, it can be quite toxic. So try not to breathe anything in and try to, you know, let the entire kitchen filter out. You might have to get like some sort of something to clean it up though. Yeah, but always be careful when breathing in the fumes from electrical fires especially. Well, from any fires, to be honest. A lot of them can be incredibly dangerous.
Hey, Cup. I'm busy doing repairs around the house, but I wanted to stop by and poke you real quick. I hope you have a great painting session.
Oh, thank you. I hope you have a good time with your repairs and stuff. I hope it goes well. GBG. T-Man. I'm actually not sure for Iris stands on snakes. I don't really think they hate snakes. There are snakes in Ireland that are called grass snakes. And they're cute little small snakes that you find in the grass. While they are poisonous, they don't have the ability to actually, you know, hurt people. Although if you do have like a pet animal that tries to eat one of the snakes and it successfully eats them, then you might want to go to a vet's because, well, a variety of reasons, to be honest. Don't kick the snakes. They're very important in the ecology. We have the same type of snakes in Britain. You've had the house venting for the last 5 hours. Ooh. Snake cake, snake cake. What am I doing? Let's look. How's the white looking? Probably need to do a smoother finish on some of this white. Yeah. So go back over one more time. Then after that, we'll get rake our flesh here. I'm not a snake. I'm a cake. I know it sounds like snake, but I'm a cake. I'm a cupcake. Just in the shape of a snake right now. Oh, oh, Cuptle, don't look at me like that, Cuptle. Don't be judging me. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah. Okay, you can go to sleep or dance or whatever you want to do. There you go. Ah, there you go. Cuptle's going to sleep. We have a narcoleptic is Cuptle. I've cleaned up most of the burn residue. I also washed the plates and bowls that were in the cabinet. And halfway through the glasses, there's probably still particles, particulates making the stench. It probably is. If there's any fabrics in the kitchen, you probably want to put them through the wash. Like a really good wash. That's probably one thing you want to do. Alcohol-induced narcolepsy is not funny. Cuptle doesn't drink. Yeah, Cuptle, you tell him you don't drink. Yeah, give him that dead-eye stare. Give him that evil stare. You're like, oh, you, no, not me. Do that to Talan. Oh. He's trying to put his problems onto you. He's what do we call it? He's projecting. He's just projecting, Cuptle. Yeah, you enjoy a little nap. Cuptle's just a little baba. He won't have energy easily. He's just a cutie.
When someone says something so alcohol-phobic, you got to stare them with a true boozer stare.
No, it's not a boozer stare. Cuptle doesn't drink. Alcohol is evil, Talan. Alcohol is evil. Don't forget to like and sub. Yeah, don't forget. Don't forget. It says right there. Don't forget. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Oh. For everyone it is. Alcohol is the root of all evils that aren't money. Okay, what's in the air? Hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen. All of them are poisonous. All of them are poisonous. The air is bad for everybody. It's slowly killing you. Just because you also need to breathe doesn't mean it's not killing you. Cuptle would never abuse alcohol. He loves it too much. Hey, Cuptle doesn't love alcohol. Do you, Cuptle? No. No. Cuptle's such a happy little cupcake. And you're getting a bit of a model update, aren't you, Cuptle, with the Feed 2 debut? You're in that episode too, just like Wilson. Cuptle is secretly a tiramisu. Oh my gosh, that's cool. A tiramisu. Tiramisu. Tortera. Never abuse alcohol. They have feelings. Alcohol has no feelings. Alcohol is evil. It's pure and utter evil. Even more evil than Sauron. Sauron. That's their fault from tiramisu. Tiramisu, tiramisu, we love tiramisu. We love. Sorry, I'm just singing again. Bum 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 bum. Oh, my tum-tums hurts. It hurts like everyone else.
It's a happy Tuesday, also happy St. Patty's Day.
Who's that? Hi, Ireland. It's Tuesday. Don't know what St. Patrick's Day is. Never heard of it. I'm joking. I know what St. Patrick. We were discussing that earlier. And the fact that I never knew it was St. Patrick's Day today. No one told me. No one told me it was St. Patrick's Day. How was I supposed to know? I don't know my own birthday unless somebody told me it. I don't have a birthday, so it's fine. I don't know, Fate, how you're doing. Who usually tells you it's St. Pat? I don't know. Usually no one. I mean, usually my family's like, hey, it's Christmas. I'm like, what? What the heck's Christmas? Why did no one warn me? It's like, we've been warning you for weeks. It's like, don't you see the adverts? I don't watch TV. What about the adverts on YouTube? I don't watch the adverts on YouTube. I just, like, filter them all out. Like, what about people that, you know, have been on YouTube recently and they're, like, talking about Christmas and stuff? I'm like, you expect me to watch recently uploaded videos? No, I'm like 10 years out of date. Yes, I can't trust the English. The English. You can never trust the English. They invaded Scotland. They took over Scotland, you know. And they lied to us. They said they wouldn't take our lands. They wouldn't build upon our wildlife sanctuaries. But they did. They said they wouldn't steal our resources and our mines. But they did. They said we were to be treated as equal citizens, but we were not. 10 years ago, it was also St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I don't watch it like 10 years ago to the day. Usually I see Christmas stuff in July, Easter stuff in December, St. Patrick's Day stuff only specifically on the 1st of January. Any other day I won't ever see a St. Patrick's thing. I hate leprechauns. When I catch one of them, they always say they're just midgets for that every time. Hence why I now keep glue traps all over my roof, but the only thing I keep catching is birds. But one day I'll get that pot of gold. Alan is just being racist today. And ableist. I don't think I'm allowed to keep Talan as my mod anymore. There you go. Again! Erlen's doing it now. It's considered very culturally insensitive to be talking about stuff like that about the Irish. And as a British person, I have to be a lot more sensitive to that kind of stuff. Because, you know, recent history. Oh. There we go. There we go. So the white paint is doing okay. I need to paint that bit black. Hi Yoko Ahafa, how you doing? I just gifted my buddy Inquisitor Ostromedus for his birthday last week. Oh, that's such a good model. Wait, which one's Ostromedus? Is that the one with a little alien friend? Or is it the one where he's stabbing a book? Because I got both of them for really, really cool. Here's a cool robot, right? An alien buddy. Oh, yeah, he's cool. By the way, look, it's just feet. It's just feet. Well, it looks like a statue where the feet got smashed, where the body got smashed off. Yeah, I know that model. He's a suit. We've not built him yet. I have an idea for a conversion for him. Where is he? Where did he go? Wait, he's not here. Oh, there he is. There he is. Missed him. Oh, look at it. He's got a little melter pistol and a power sword. And he's wearing power armor except on one of his arms, in which way he's not wearing power armor. Is his other arm bionic? Yeah, I think this arm here is bionic. Yeah, that looks like a bionic arm. So that means... So, how do you think he lost this arm? Is it because you weren't wearing power armor on your blooming arm, you silly fella? Looks super cool, though. £26, that's a great deal. I got him for 42 USD plus shipping. What's £26 to USD? That's like 40 USD, isn't it? Let me do 26. Great British Pound to USD. Do. Oh, 1.33. Okay. Ah, darn it. Just let me use one of these sites. There we go. 34 according to this. Yeah. It's a lot cheaper than yours. But that being said, I mean, it is shipping from Britain. That's where it's manufactured, so it's kind of... All Warhammer is basically cheaper in Britain. Because that's where it's manufactured. Oh. But also it depends, like, if you bought it on eBay, yeah, it's going to be more expensive. Because you can only get it with a Warhammer subscription. So you can't just buy this normally, like, see, it won't let you buy it. You have to subscribe, and then after a month you can get this, but then you can't buy it again. This other model's my favourite one at the moment is... Actually, can I just type in here? Warhammer Plus. Yeet, this is my favourite one at the moment. Oh, so cool. This is so cool, but look at this. What I want to do is take him, get this, and then not have him on the base, like have him just on foot. And then use his base for another model. No idea what I'll use it for, but it'll be so cool. Oh, look at him. Yeah. There we go. What do I want to do now? Oh yeah, I want to get black paint. Black, let's get Abaddon black because that's going to be better coverage. Oh gosh, no, no. Little cap's just rolling away on me. There we go, put that there. No distraction. Paint. I'm not being as good with this today. But it's fine. Mistakes that we make, we can easily fix. We just need to paint over them. And some mistakes might actually look cooler. Last mistake. Like Bob Ross always says, happy little accidents. There's still house alarms and stuff going on. I need to bring the camera a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing. There you go. So hold this here and actually say, yeah, there you go. I was working to get that painted. There we go. Oh no, I did it that side. It's hard to reach underneath here. But I can do it. How's that looking? Looking a little better. Get that there. Be very control the breathing. If you're struggling to keep your hands steady, control the breathing. At least these crosses are so much easier. Like, I always thought doing these crosses was difficult until I had to do this blooming circle. That circle was hell.
I ate all the cookies in the cookie shop.
Nice. Eat them cookies. Cookies aren't cakes. They're food, not friends. Eat all the cookies. Destroy all the cookies. Defeat our cookie foes. They wish to change. They wish to replace the cupcakes with the status quo. But the cupcakes stand above all cookie life forms as a superior baked life. And as a superior baked life form, we here must exterminate all of you. Raw. Because we cupcakes are friendly little group. There we go. Nah, the cookies aren't alive. They're not evil. Because they're not alive enough to be evil. They're just food. That's like saying, you know, that's like saying a car is alive. Cookies aren't alive. I don't like cupcakes. Pancakes are alive, but they're evil. They're not even cakes. They're just masquerading as cakes. They're the worst of the worst. No, I accidentally got black where I didn't want it to go. Okay, I'm gonna have to paint over that then. That's fine. I'll just do that afterwards. Oh gosh, I messed up that completely. I have no idea how some people paint incredibly quickly. Because people would have painted like an entire model in the time that I've just been doing this. And it would honestly be just as good as anything I've painted. Probably experience and confidence combined. Okay, let the black paint dry so we can then go over it. There we go. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers. Oh my gosh. I forgot how sad Andor was. I didn't really forget. Oh my gosh, it's sad. There we go. Oh wait, forgot to do the edges of this pardon. Ugh. I messed that up again. I'm not doing well today. Oh my goodness, I am messing up. That's fine, we can just go over it, as I said. Just go over. Get over here. You're just a relaxing little painting session. Can you guys hear that alarm outside? Because it's really annoying me. It's like do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'd close my window, but you know I need the ventilation. And it gets warm in here.
sent a picture of the damage to some friends. One said picture is English AF, there was tea in the background. Right proper British in it.
There's tea in the back. You wouldn't catch that in my house. Tea in the house. Ugh. No, cola. You need cola in the background. Where did you have cola in the background? Don't tell me you're a cola-free household. Because it... Oh my god, I don't know if I can forgive you for that. I can forgive you for all the cupcake damage, but for not drinking cola. Well, that's too far, that is. White, proper British. Now, if it was really British, you know what would happen? You notice a giant fire going on in here in the kitchen. I just walk straight past it, turn the kettle on, pour yourself a nice cuppa, start sipping at it, and then, you know, decide to fix the problem. The only crawler that graces my fridge is Pepsi Max, fleas inside, but Pepsi Max! No, no Pepsi! Especially not Max. Where's the caffeine? Where's the sugar? You're full of artificial sweetness. Ah, grab you. Going through the camera. There you go. I'm sorry, chat, that Anthony had to get beaten up like that, but it's fine. Like I'm coming to just grab you. Just pulls you back in. Pepsi is better than cola.
Pepsi is better than Coke.
Coca-Cola, no. Lies! British Pepsi, even the like proper original flavour stuff, it's half artificial sweetener now, so it absolutely sucks. It's artificial, it's full of artificial sweetness. It's not full sugar anymore. You lost me at British Pepsi. I know, it's evil. It's evil! Never forgive them. And all the other Pepsi brand drinks are the same. They just filled them with evil artificial sweetness that make my stomach go all bubbly, bleedy, damaged explosives. You barely get cola, Sprite or Schweppes lemonade. They've done the same annoying thing of putting artificial sweetener in everything. You know, I've got to gift you another portable speaker now, and it's also going to explode. It's got to go, Pablooey! Dr. Pepper or Iron Blue. It's made from girders. They only use artificial sweetness in their diet sodas. They still use high fructose corn syrup. Okay, high fructose corn syrup is just as bad as artificial sweetness. Both of them, absolutely awful, evil stuff. Evil stuff. Over here, we don't use high fructose corn syrup at all. We use proper sugar, proper good sugar. Either cane sugar or beet sugar. The most sugar that we produce in Britain is usually beet sugar. Not really artificial sweetness, depending on what it is worse. Now, both of them are evil. Both of them are absolutely evil. High fructose, look. Your body cannot handle fructose very well. That's like, nobody's body can handle fructose very well. It's like why if you eat a lot of fruit, you know, sometimes it can make your pee burn, or it can
Please
make
don't
your...
send me another boom battery, at least until I get a new 9-volt for the smoke alarm.
Oh no. Oh yeah, because smoke alarms often break, don't they? Oh, you might have to get a new smoke alarm depending on what type of alarm you have. Often a lot of alarms, after they like go off in a proper situation like that, they you have to like replace them. It depends on the type of alarm you've got, because some of them have like they basically got this type of filtery thing on them, and if it gets all chocked full of smoke, it's just gonna stay not working forever. Ba 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 ba. Depends on the type of smoke alarm you've got, though. No, I don't want for white paint. No, I don't want for white paint. I do want for white paint because I messed up here, didn't I? Exercise time. No, never. Never exercise. Can't make me. I've actually been having quite a tired time recently. There we go. I get this here as well. Yeah. I need to get like a proper paint spray thing and figure out how to set it up in my bedroom, because all of this trying to paint like a smooth white is very, very difficult. I could always use my acrylic ink, but I don't really like doing that, especially when it's next to black. Because if the acrylic ink is just too bright for white, it doesn't feel quite right. Quite right. There you go. There you go. Okay, so now rake our flesh on the tabards. I've basically got all the blue done on my giant enemy crab. Nice! Might need to go back over in a few places to get the correct colour, but not today. Why not today? Why? Do it! Do it! Do it now! So how did you stop the fire? Did it just burn itself out? Did the fire brigade come? Or did you, or did you have like a home fire extinguisher? Or fire blanket? Having a home fire extinguisher would probably be a good idea, I've just realised. Or you should contact the manufacturer of the people who sold it and tell them that it exploded. And request compensation. Tell them that your kitchen was heavily damaged and now you're going to have to get it fumigated. Oh yeah, that's something you might have to actually do. You might have to get it fumigated. That's the word I was looking for earlier. I opened up everything to the outside, and when I went to pop, I grabbed it with oven mitts and took it outside because it's all paving slabs. Oh. That makes sense. Another thing you can do is like open a, like empty out a tin bin and just throw it in, like a metal bin. Rake our flesh. Rake our flesh, where art thou? Is that rake our flesh or is that administratum? No, it's my administratum grey. That's rake. Oh, that is rake our flesh. Nice. What's this one? Wave mode. That'd be good for the cloth highlights. I expected it to go bang. I know what happens when batteries cook up. I just didn't expect flames, so I had a brain boop and thought, how do I put that out before realizing I couldn't stop it? Yeah. And it really depends on like what part of it's on fire. If you can, depending on the type of fire it is and like where it starts, you can potentially starve a fire. Like if you put a bowl over it or something, something that can form a seal. So there's no more oxygen feeding it, and then just hope that it cooks itself off before it gets to the battery and causes it to explode, like turns into a proper lithium fire. But if a battery's already on fire, yeah, it's pretty much doomed. It's gonna explode on you. That's just the way these things go, unfortunately. Once again, more of these things. Ugh. Explaining to my mother why her cabinet is melted is going to be fun. Oof. Well, there's not much else you can do about that, I guess. Not exactly your fault that a speaker exploded. Okay, gonna have to very carefully now paint rake our flesh onto the tabard. This is one of the things that I should have painted some of the base colours before doing our dry brushing. I just didn't really think about it until it was a bit late and we already did all the dry brushing. Yeah. Like our flesh is a weird colour. I'm learning more about how like they do flesh tones and stuff. And like one of the reasons is like some of the flesh tones is because you want to put, like they look weird, it's because they're designed to be used with rushes or contrast paints over them. To get the actual flesh tone you might look for. Because while that is a kind of fleshy tone, it's also a bit lacks any sort of vibrancy to it, which makes it feel like putrid flesh.
It
like
made the
dead
weirdest
flesh.
noise at the start. There was a plastic pop and then a sound that I can best describe as the sigh of a depressed rat.
So it was high pitch then. Yeah, that makes sense. Or the basic could have been like a lot of like the heat and air trying to escape the plastic casing and stuff. And the casing effectively getting wider. As it was escaping. Or at least like the gas no longer having as much pressure there. It wasn't all trying to escape at once anymore. Gosh, this does not like being painted, this green stuff. At least you were there to see it go pop. It's much better to have a, what's it called? A cabinet be burnt down than, you know, the entire house. And potentially yourself with it. Yeah. You acted well in a panic situation anyway. Definitely seen people do worse in far less panicky situations. If the only thing I could have done more is move it preemptively, but at the same time, I don't know if moving it would have just made it go off in my hand. That is the thing, is you don't actually want to move those things unless you can do it safely. Which is like one of the things of like why putting them in something like a metal bin is a good idea. So that it doesn't explode. But then when you do have it in a metal bin, you don't want the metal bin to be closed, you want it to be open. And you want the opening facing away from you, assuming it's not like a wire basket bin, or do you know, one where it's got holes for the bottom? In which case you just want to try carefully getting it away from you. Because in fact, you don't want it exploding in your hands. Even if it's already popped once, it doesn't mean it won't pop again. And especially if it's got multiple batteries. So generally in those situations, you kind of want to contain the fire and the item that the fire is with. And make itself burn itself out. You definitely don't want to be looking at it when it pops, though. You don't want to blind yourself. Oh gosh, now that I've actually painted this a different colour, it looks far worse. Oh, whatever, it's fine. I definitely messed up these attempts. That green stuff in. There you go. Yeah, thankfully it's in packed after it went to properly bang, so it could just be taken outside. Yay! That's good. Sounds like you got lucky. Another thing is, like, if you do have access to, you don't want to throw water on it, but if you have anything like, you know, those CO2, fire extinguishers and stuff like that, is while putting out the fire isn't necessarily going to work on the electrical device, by putting out the fire around the device and preventing it from spreading is quite important. And then moving it once it's safe to move. Yeah, it's the kind of thing where depending on how bad the fire is, you might need to fumigate. You don't want to be in the room with the fire, or where the fire was for very long anyway. I don't have any firefighting equipment in my house. Feel like I should get some. Now, honestly, it's not a bad idea to have one of those, small fire extinguisher just to keep in a cupboard under the stairs or something. Just for fires like that. They're going to be useless in like massive fires and like very sudden fires. Or next to useless, but when it comes like small fires like that, especially ones where it's in a kitchen, where it's a lot easier to contain for fire, because you generally like outside, depending on the house, outside of a kitchen, it's going to be far worse when you got things like carpets and very flammable furniture, clothing, and all sorts. While wood itself is very flammable, it burns relatively slowly compared to like fabrics. And carries flame much slower than fabrics. A lot of like treated woods that you like have in the kitchen definitely burn a lot slower, or at least they initially catch fire a lot slower. And these sort of more porous, not as treated woods that you might have in the rest of your house. Yeah, I would definitely. We don't have I don't think we have a fire extinguisher either in the house. I feel like we should probably definitely get one though, because my mother's been lighting more candles recently. I've already had a couple of incidents of the cats burning themselves on the candles. And my father's been getting those stupid Alexa, voice command module things. Where you can like where you put it between the plug socket. You put it in your plug socket and then you plug like lights or something into it, and so you can turn it on and off with a command. I have no idea why. Literally, we're struggling to get one of the lights on the other day because it was just struggling. And we couldn't just flick the switch on and off either. We had to literally tell Alexa to do it. It's like, no, no. And I do not
The real
trust
irony
those things.
was talking to someone that morning. They asked about my weekend. My response, nothing much happened. Nothing exploded.
Oh no! No! You can't say stuff like that, otherwise you're going to have explosions. If you say nothing happened of a very specific variety, it's pretty much guaranteed to happen afterwards. It's called the law of jinx. Murphy's law. Phineas and Ferb. Apparently so, yeah. This is also one of the reasons why I'm like, whenever anyone asks something, I'm always like, I think. Even if I'm pretty certain of something, I always say I think, just so that I have that, like, deal protection of, I didn't say I knew. I didn't say it's definitely. I just told you what I thought. Like, you know, the faith that govern our lives will be like, haha, wordplay. We respect wordplay. Or at least that's what I hope. Can I have your name? No. No, you cannot have my name. Miss Faye. Oh my gosh, my mother was actually doing that the other day. She wanted a book, you know, a thing for a table at a restaurant, except it wanted her credit card details, do you know, for booking, even though she didn't need to, even though it didn't require her to pay, it just required it to basically say, hey, you can pay. And she didn't want to give it over. And then when she rung for a restaurant, it just sounded like a conversation of someone trying not to get tricked by a fae. Like, I don't want to give you my credit card details. I don't want to give you my name. May we have your credit card details so you can steal all the money in my bank? No, thank you. May we have your name so you can steal my identity? No, thank you. Oh my gosh. The Fae are real. They've just become, you know, big corporations and stuff that want all of your private information. Do you know Zuckerberg? He's not a lizard person. He's just a fairy. It's literally just a fairy from D&D or something. He wants all your private information. Why? Because the fairies want all your private information. They can steal it from you. There's always forcing you to agree to terms and conditions. I did mess up some of these things, so I'm gonna have to go back over with Black Gun. Oh wait, I forgot. You forgot to seal on his leg. How did I miss it? Because I'm a silly Billy. You like the little skull on his head. On his backpack, sorry. Oh, little skull there. Oh, gosh. Hi, French
Puff
Puff.
word of the day. HDP arrow. High density punch arrow. My
What?
new invention that is an arrow with a very heavy weight under the tip. And a
round ball like an aluminium punching thing. No, they've existed. Go and read the Arrow comics. Do you know Green Arrow or Hawkeye? They have those arrows. A person called, I think, is it Bloomin' Egg? An archer, a TikTok archer. They also test out like some of these trick arrows. But to punch the target. I know. Literally, they do them all the time. And they actually existed in real life, some of these arrows. One of the arrows is it wasn't a aluminium weight, it was a lead weight at the end, a very small rounded one. And it was designed to hunt, things like small animals. So that when you hit them, it will concuss them and break the bones and stuff, but leave a pelt intact. Yeah. And sometimes they'd have a very, very tiny little needle-sized point on them as well. Yeah. But they tested out doing like the ones with boxing gloves on and stuff. And, with other types of weights. And they're not very effective generally. It's very hard to be accurate with them at any sort of range. And you don't want to use them with like very high powered bows either. Because while you think a high powered bow would be great for, throwing a heavy arrow. Actually, wait. Do they want to use high? No, they do want to use high powered, but it's the opposite way around, sorry. No, they want to use high powered bows, not because it will make the arrow travel better or whatever, but because... Oh no, you can use high-powered bows with them, and you can use light-powered bows. That's the issue. You can't use light arrows with high-powered bows. You need to use heavier arrows with high-powered bows because what happens with them are the energy. You want the energy to go through the arrow, but if the arrow's too light, the energy instead goes into the bow itself and damages it. The big old wooden bit going into town. Bye-bye, Blair Boris. So, yeah. So you can use it with lower-powered bows. We generally do use them with low-powered bows because you don't want to throw them very, very hard. Because, again, they're designed to shoot at birds and small prey. Very interesting stuff, actually. I don't know a lot about archery. I've done archery in the past, but definitely no expert on it. But yeah, weighted arrows are a thing. There's a variety of different arrows like that. You've also got things like basket arrows, where again, they're not designed to pierce things as much. Where instead what you do is you put like a bit of fabric inside this basket. And you set it on fire. And usually it's like drenched in alcohol or saltpeter and stuff like that. So that it burns better. And you set them on fire and you shoot them at the enemy. And it's basically designed to like set things on fire. And to scare things like horses and stuff. Can also be used as a way of lighting an area up. A little bit at the very least. But I have one original thing. It has two uses. You can shoot it like a spear. Or like WW2 grenade on a stick, Yeah, the grenade on a stick would be too heavy to fire. And it's too front heavy in those cases. Like generally ones that had the lead weight on, the weight is like quite small on it. As soon as you get something like a grenade, it's changing the complete aerodynamic capabilities of the arrow. So it won't fly very well, and instead it will explode. There were other ways, and it's basically going back to one of the most ancient weapons ever used. Similar to a sling. It's basically a wooden stick that is L-shaped, and you put the grenade in the L, and it basically extends your arm, allowing you to throw it much further. They used to use them back like before bows were even invented and before even slings were invented, and it was to help launch spears further and faster. It's not that it doesn't have to be heavy. The thing is, arrows are quite lightweight, even heavy arrows, and even weighted arrows have to be quite lightweight. Otherwise, it changes the entire kit. Because the head's going to be too heavy, you need to weight the back as well. The other thing is they also use slings to throw grenades, but, you know, slings take a lot more experience and practice to use, but an L-shaped stick takes, or basically a spoon, doesn't take much to, like, do it with. And it's like, the experience that you need to use a sling means that trying to use a sling on a grenade on an unexperienced person could mean that you accidentally throw the grenade at your own feet or at somebody else, or it just never leaves a sling. More used like a spear though. I also have a light up arrow, but it's electric. I mean, they do exist as well. I hear some hunting arrows can sometimes have lights on. Before they had tracking and stuff, you saw more things like that. But yeah, this is why I shot put my grenades. There's a grenade on a stick. You don't want a grenade on a stick. There's a reason why grenades haven't really changed a lot since WW2. It's basically because the easiest way, having like the stick can mean that you can throw them further. But if you try like putting them on a big old spear, you're not going to throw a spear as far as you're going to throw a rock. Generally. Especially not a heavy spear full of explosives. But the other thing is it just takes up too much space. It turns out it's just much easier to be able to keep grenades in your pockets than, you know, having them hanging on clips and stuff. Ease of convenience of use is incredibly important for that type of thing. On top of that, when it comes to grenades now, you've got underslung grenade launchers on your rifles.
Steel hand granite.
Steel hand grenade. Yeah. You've got underslung grenade launchers now, which are very useful. And you've also just got grenade rifles and grenade guns. For instance, many, types of troop carriers and Humvees and stuff, you might see like a giant machine gun that's not a machine gun. Instead, it's got like a much bigger, thicker barrel. Basically, they're just like automatic grenade launchers, where they just rapid fire kinetic grenades, so they explode in impact. If you want a grenade that goes really far, right now the two things that do, you either put it on a drone and the drone drops it and then it comes back loading off a grenade, or you just literally put it on a drone and the drone crashes into something and explodes, and you can hit as result enemies that are miles away, you can go around corners. And you can perfectly control where it's going to explode and make sure that, your target is just your target. You're not going to get others as well. So yeah, a lot of these things, they kind of already exist or have, better versions around. You can't buy a bow, so I make my own. Nothing can stop me. Yeah, I made a crossbow out of elastic bands and stuff when I was in school. It was surprisingly powerful. Completely destroyed my case though in the end. But remember that an actual real-life bow is technically not a bow, it's a slingshot when the string is at the bit expanding. A normal bow, the string doesn't stretch, or at least not much. It's actually the bow itself, you know, curving, that has all of the power in it.
Woodworking class would be so cool if you were able to make a ballista.
I think there's laws against doing that. You can kind of get away with it when you're a kid if you don't hurt anybody with it because they don't expect you to know the laws. And generally they're just going to be impressed when you actually make something, you know, that's really fireable and you just made it for fun, not for any dangerous purpose. It's like, I wanted to make this thing. It's like, you know, that's kind of impressive, but maybe don't do that because it's bad. It's like, I just thought it was fun though. It's like, yeah, but it's dangerous. It's like, oh yeah, oh, you're correct. But generally don't do that stuff. Not without proper adult supervision anyway. One thing you can do is you can always ask like to go to archery class or something. I mean, I got to go to archery things growing up. And there's plenty of ways to do that. Although in Britain we have the Duke of Edinburgh Award and stuff where archery and things are like part of it, or can be. You made a crossbow. I just made it bigger. Perfectly legal. Technically it was a slingshot because it was the elastic bands that stretched. It wasn't the actual, you know, other parts of it that stretched. And slingshots are perfectly legal. Yeah, I also made it of my own fruition. It wasn't in class where I made it. Well, I mean, technically it was in class. But it wasn't in woodworking class. Actually, oh yeah, I did do woodworking class. I didn't enjoy that very much. I made this cool. Maybe don't do things like that. Why it's dangerous? Why do you think I made it? No! That's how you get sent to, you know, places where, you know, they try to remold your personality. There you go. Okay, so rake off flesh. I get making this.
While you were learning quadratic equations, I was building the crossbow.
I made it to... My internal lawyer has advised me to shut up. Yeah, your internal lawyer is intelligent. Article gets it. Look, I did quadratic equations. I love my quadratic. I was a mathematician and a physicist. I love my quadratic equations. Pay attention in mathematics class. Now, geography class. No one needs to know Berlin is the capital of China. Or Belarus is in America or whatever. I don't know. United States has 20 states. Canada is in the Antarctic. Yeah. You did maths. I made weapons. You know, learning mathematics and physics allows you to make better weapons. Think about it. No, 50. No, Belarus is not in America. No, 50. No. Look, see, this is just like, it's useless geography information. You don't need to know that stuff, do you? That's where you do crossbow making. Oh. Also, I like how you missed Berlin. It's the capital of China. It's not. It's Beijing. Wait, Beijing is the capital of China, right? I don't know.
Young Cup can be like, look, I was learning my quadratic equations and I was making the crossbow. I got bored. Alright, the others are slow.
I mean, that is also true. But that's why I had like, when I went to college, usually you're only allowed to take 4, items you can do at college. I did, and further mathematics counts as 2 of them. I did further mathematics, chemistry, physics, graphic design, just for fun. And there's another maths class that I did. Yeah. And then I'm just like, there, he's like, yep, scoring top 1% of the country. Don't care. Maths. How long did I study? Well, I studied like 5 minutes before each exam. It's like, you got 100%. It's like, yeah, obviously. I mean, maths is easy. It's like, you sat next to who we thought was meant to be the smartest person in the entire college. And like, they're really, really outgoing and they do all of this cool stuff. It's like, yeah, no. Why did you do better than them? It's like, because. I mean, just ask them. Who do you think's better at for maths out of the 2 of us? I did worse in physics, even though technically I'm more of a physicist. But that's because I struggle with names and words. It's basic orc engineering. I wish I was good at maths. I loved maths. It's like the only subject I was like really, really good at. Oh. Well, that's the thing. It's like when I was in primary school, I was already doing like my GCSE level maths and even some A level mathematics. It was really fun. What do I want to do next? Do I want to do the yellow next? I mean, I might as well. What do I want to do for brown next? Brown is in a really annoying position. No, yellow could be good actually. Yeah, yellow's in the better position to do next. I don't want to do the purple. We can do the purple. We can do the purple.
You don't need math. What do you mean for space travel? You blow some things up and you go to space. It's basic orc engineering.
Yeah, or have you heard the entire thing about the lunar mission? About how it went wrong because somebody accidentally did the coding of the software and hardware.
I talk notly best. Writing? Dress mal?
Exactly, Anthony gets it. Writing hard. I'm dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. Writing, word hard. Although now I'm more of an author. Like, when I was growing up, I always struggled with art and, you know, English language was really difficult. English literature, I could do kind of okay. Because of the like, we have 2 English classes, obviously. But yeah, really struggled with some of that stuff. Luxury and purple, that's what we want. English literature, super hard. No, but then it's like later in life. What did I do? I became an author. I made manga. These. There we go. I kind of just got disillusioned with academia at some point. I was like, academia sucks. I forget which one is switched between Lit and Lang. I was good at one, trash at the other. Maths and sciences was also my jam. So literature is things like the way you have to do your reading comprehension and stuff. So you have to like you have to like write a short story. You have to read something and like tell you about like what's happening in the story and stuff. And like answer questions on stuff, like what are people's motives? Why did they write this? Those types of questions. I was really good at that. Because ultimately my dyslexia didn't matter there. Language was more when it talked about, you know, things like where is the verb? What is the adjective? Give another word for this. Write this sentence out. There was stuff like that. Actually, I can't even remember half of the questions because they're more like lower grade questions. But I always sucked at that because they mark you much more aggressively for things like spelling errors, and doing like accidentally making weird type errors, like you get 2 words the wrong way around by accident, which is issues that like a dyslexic person definitely has. And like, but when it comes to English literature, a lot of that was much more forgiving because a lot of the time they're not actually testing you on your ability to write something, instead testing you on your ability to comprehend something that's written. There's still definitely parts where you do get that, but it's like if they ask you to write a story, only a small number of the marks are actually for things like spelling and grammar. I say small, it's still a significant amount, but you could actually not get any marks in them and still get a passing grade. Or at least on the story writing. If you did everything else, like wrote a decent story. And did make good structure of how your story otherwise worked, like paragraphs and beginning, middle, end. Due to health issues during secondary school, I only did one of the English tests. Still managed to do triple sciences though. Oh, my school absolutely hated me. In fact, I actually still struggle remembering school because I literally have PTSD. But in the middle of my GCSE exams, I know my grandfather died. I was really, really ill with my, you know, my health issues and stuff. And something else happened. Oh yeah, my sister was hospitalized. My brother had an emergency while he was at university and all sorts of stuff. Was it at university or was it work? No, probably been work. My sister was at university. Yeah, so my brother had an emergency with his work. Well, lots going on. And my school was like, nah, you have to take all the exams. We're not giving you special discompensation or whatever. Or, you know, extraordinary circumstances. Oh, it was not fun. It was not a fun time. I'll be best described as quite a bit going on all at once. Yeah. I remember at that time, it was like I went to an exam and then I had to go home. I think I had to walk home, yeah, because I didn't have the buses and stuff going on. I couldn't, you know, afford to get a bus journey all the way home. So I often walked home, but it was like a really long journey home. A good few miles. And I couldn't keep like doing my textbooks and stuff in the school lockers because they'd just get destroyed. So what did I have to do? Yeah, walk home, get home, and then like walk in for my exams as well. Oh gosh, it was not fun. Sometimes the buses would be fine, but most of the time they weren't. Oh gosh. Oh. And then I was often having to make food and stuff as well. It was a very weird time. I still did actually surprisingly well on my exams. Most of my results weren't lower than a B. Although I did have a couple, like Latin. Oh my gosh, I sucked at Latin. And French, I sucked at French, but neither of them were really important, so it's fine. Okay, what else do I want to do? I think I want to do the yellow next. And then I can do the brown here. Yeah. I don't want to use the, No, do the yellow next. Work to a British understanding as our form of exaggeration. Grandparent dies, sister hospitalized. Brother having work issues, ill tests. A bit going on. Yeah, I remember one of the exams I had to sit in the nurse's room while I was vomiting. It was my physics exam, I think. Still got really good marks on it. I spent most of the time vomiting and then tried to do as much of the exam as I could in about 10 minutes and then just like spent the rest of it just vomiting. And then the school absolutely refused to acknowledge that, you know, I did the exam in the nurse's office. I have no idea why. The school absolutely hated me. We think it's because I was autistic, but we never knew until I was like at university that I was actually autistic. In hindsight, it was very obvious. Oh, but I'm trauma dumping now, I just realised. Oh. Well, if there was silly stuff going on. It was very silly stuff. But it was fine. I lived through it. Which is better than some. There we go. Okay, I need a really thin brush again. Thinner. Thinner. neither of those. This one. This one, there we go. Because now I'm going to do some yellow. I'm going to need the thin brush for this yellow here. And for this yellow here. And for that yellow there. I might as well just use it for all of the yellow. One of the things I like about British English, though, is that British English is that if someone says for okay, it can mean anything from I just had the worst day of my life to I'm having the best day of my life. It's like, how was your day? Oh, it's okay, actually. That's actually from having a really, really good, amazing day. If it's like, if it like, oh, it was okay, I guess. I was like, oh, could have been better. If they say it could have been better, especially if they're not really excited about saying it could have been better. If it's like, it wasn't great, but it could have been better, that means it was actually not that bad, really. But if they're like, oh, it could have just been better, that way it should be somebody in their family basically died. Someone shot them in the stomach. It was fine. I lived through it. Translated into not British. It was hell. I don't know how I got through that. Nah, it wasn't that bad. But I do find it funny. Like other people, when it's like even texting like other British people, if I say things are okay, there's kind of like this psychic understanding of exactly what you mean. Like someone says, how was your day? You just say, it's okay. It was okay. It's like, for like, oh, that's great. And we're like, yeah, it was a pretty good day. Or sometimes you can just say it was okay. And we're like, oh, hope your day goes better then. But if you just seem to understand exactly how like your day went just from it's okay. It's like a psychic link all British people have. We know exactly what it's okay means when another British person say it's okay. Although as a VTuber and a content creator, really I should be much more on top of that type of thing. I love my iodine contrast. My iodine contrast and my Averland sunset have made me enjoy painting yellow again. There we go. Oh, my throat hurts. Water! I think I'm gonna go insane with that alarm going off in the background. I know you guys can't hear it very well. You can probably only hear it a little bit when I'm speaking. Yeah, according to my microphone, it's not picking it up. Just be thankful. Humans have a really weird ability where when you go for extreme circumstances, you're more likely to be able to deal with things than if you weren't going for extreme circumstances.
Know the British difference between it's okay and it was okay. If it is the latter, it was good. If it's the former, lock away any knives.
No! Go in a shanking mood. Never lock away knives from a British person. It depends. If someone says I guess afterwards, it can drastically change the meaning. Like, it's okay, I guess. It's... Could actually just mean it was literally okay. If it was okay, I guess. Generally, that means it was pretty bad. I think that I guess rarely means it was something good. Rarely means a positive. But then you got the northern versus the southern versions of okay. And the southerners are the ones who are going to be less emotional in general about like how much energy they put into the words. At least that's what the comedians say. So these guys are coming along pretty nicely. We'll get some Shyish purple next on these shoulder pads. That would be good. Some like Petachin flesh would actually probably be best there. Oh god. There we go. I know. There we go. Your dogs and cats can hear in a much higher range than humans can when it comes to like high-pitched noises. Why do you think that is? Like, they don't exactly make use of those high-pitched noises themselves. And most animals don't actually create those high-pitched noises either, so it's not exactly good for hunting. So just that over distances, those high-pitched noises kind of come through. No, over distances, they should become deeper, not like higher pitch. Yeah, all of where I'm painting yellow is basically going to be either gold or bronze. Bronze have a change, gold for everywhere else. Hi, Night Parade. How you doing? We're painting 3 dudes right now. We're just doing the yellow on them. We've done for black. We've done for white. Or at least most of it. We're going to like add shadows and highlights and stuff. We've been talking about school traumas as well for some weird reason. You're doing okay. Oh. Wait, you're British, aren't you, Night Parade? I could even mean you're doing terribly, or you're doing amazingly, or literally just doing okay. We've just been talking about that. I'm assuming it's literally you were just doing okay. There's no deeper meaning to it. In this case, actually okay. Yeah, I thought so. My mum's on the way home. Why am I more worried about telling her about what happened than actually dealing with it? Is your mother that scary? Will she not understand that these things happen? And that you actually saved the house? Tell her that you saved the house from burning down. And she'll celebrate you as a hero. It's all about framing. Framing. Anthony had a speaker go pop on him and set on fire in the kitchen. She'll understand, I'm sure, but I'm still worried. Hannah, you saved the house. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, so amazing. I'm gonna buy you a birthday cake. A birthday cake. Yeah. And then you gather the cake friend and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I've got a cake friend. I've got a cake friend. And then you'll all dance. I'm gonna give you a cake. The bestest cake that there ever was. Except Cupcake Conjure, of course. There we go. Yeah, this, my attempts at green stuffing some tabards onto these guys did not go well, did it? That one absolutely sucks. This one was, you know, somewhat okay-ish. I thought they would look better after painting, but no. Oh gosh. I just gotta yawn a little bit. Oh. Stretches. Let's just take some time to look at the website. Let's take a little break. For my little eyes and my little hands and my little legs. Okay, my very, very long legs. Oh. Oh. There we go. Oh, my hip just dislocated and then popped back in. Did you hear it go pop? Pop. I used to be able to do that way more often. How to ally new custodians to your Horus Heresy army. The new Legio Custodi Battle Group box is coming up for pre-order, and you don't need to be one of the Empress Glory's bodyguards to use their brand new miniatures. If you're anything like us, it only took one look to know you needed some on your side of the field. Oh. How? Because if it's Horus, we've got bad news. Who do you fight for? Because if it's Horus, you got bad news. The Legio Custodes were unflappably loyal and wouldn't even think about the possibility of joining the traitor's cause. Yeah, for loyalists, it's simply as adding an allied detachment to your army. Nice. A prefect. Just swap the E and the R around. It's a perfect. Is that Vessin? Or is that just the alternate build of this thing? I have no idea. I'm going to have to look that up now. Yeah, there it is. I'm just seeing if there's like a link to the other announcements of them. Oh, there isn't. There isn't a link. Okay, I'm just gonna have to type in Custodi. New Custodes. Here we go. Yeah, it doesn't show that there's an alternate way to build it. The colour does annihilate to Graph Tank. Oh, that's new. That's for other weapon options for this thing. Oh, there it is. There's your alternate build. So there we go. Yeah, because Custodians are also getting a second Graph Tank. A signature weapon with its accelerators. Okay. Is that the alternate build or is there literally two of them? Carries 7 standard Custodes. Oh. I know these things over here are new. And they're not in the battle box. But with the Horus Heresy stuff, they do like. Pray for me. Pray for you. Well, I mean, maybe. Maybe. Okay, we'll tell us here. With options for front-mounted twin Nastum bolt cannon or twin neutron cascade projector. So I think that's already the thing that goes underneath it. Yeah, that's a bolt cannon or cascade projector here. Okay. As we look here, it's Blaze Cannonade, yeah. Okay, so yeah, Horus Heresy has a issue, kind of where often its vehicles that it makes has one weapon option or another weapon option, but you can't have both of them in the same box. Instead, there's like 2 different boxes. Because if we go over here and just like click here, we can see a bunch of them. If it load in. Oh, look at that. Bale Predator upgrade pack. Let's ignore all of the special stuff. But if we go down, we can start seeing some of them. And well, I guess you got your Predator battle tank here. And then you've got a different Predator as well. Yeah, here it is. And we got 2 just different sets of weapons you can have. This is basically like your equivalent to a 40k Predator. Where you can have either an autocannon or twin-link NAS cannon. Oh, and it can have a Volkite one as well. Ooh. Yeah, here. Twin-link NAS cannon. Volkite cannon. Oh, different cannon. Oh, so it does have more weapon options, I guess. That's nice. But then the other one has the plasma cannonade on it. The multi-melter, the heavy flamer, this thing and this thing. There's a lot of weapons on them. And what else do you have? Oh yeah, here you go. You got your Leviathan Dreadnought with melee weapons, or you can have your Leviathan Dreadnought with shooty weapons. You can also choose to have. You can also buy just the shooty weapons by themselves, and equally you can just buy the melee weapons by themselves. Similarly, you've got over here, you've got certain weapons that your Contemptor can start with.
Look at how incorrectly the Heresy does its kits. Oh, actually there are a lot of options in here.
But it depends on some of them. Like, if we look over here, there are a few options, but they're still split between 2 different tanks. Equally, you look here, how many weapons does it have? I think it comes with 2 of each of the main weapon. Yeah. Yeah, I think it comes with, I say 2 of each. You can have the option to have a siege drill on each hand, or one of the claws on each hand. As I believe. Yeah, here we go. But you can't have a ranged weapons with that kit. Instead, you have to buy the other kit if you want for ranged weapons. Which there's a few options, but there's only 1 of each option. You don't get 2 of each option, so you can't have like double graph cannon if you wanted it. Now the good thing is you can just buy the weapons separately. It's online only, so it's more expensive than going to your local store. Similarly, the Contemptor, it does have a few weapon options, but it is missing quite a few as well. Thankfully, you do get enough to have 2 of the melee weapons in each hand. A plasma cannon, machine gun with this one, not machine gun, assault cannon, twin-linked Volkite, and then this weird weapon. If you want the last cannons, auto cannons, and you probably get 2 of each one as well. So enough to have both arms. Yeah, I don't think this one comes with the auto cannons and other stuff. At least mine didn't. Mine came with the last cannons and the the last cannons and this weapon. And I think for multi-melters as well, it didn't come with these ones. Oh, maybe it does come with them now. Some of them... Oh, no, it only came with 1. It's because I had multiple of the dreadnoughts. But I could equip one with 2 of them. Yeah, it only comes with 1 of each weapon. Well, let's look at this. Have they actually changed it recently? Because... Oh, since I last got one. A conversion beamer, graph autocannon, bolt cannon, graph is last cannon, motor cannon. Okay, yeah, it does come with 1 of each. Okay. Yes, because before it came with a bit like the Predator, where it only had half of the weapon options effectively, and if you wanted the other half, you had to either get the upgrade kit or buy the other Contemptor Dreadnought that was available. Like, here's one of them where it comes with the archer cannons, last cannons, melter gun, and bolter. Yeah, see, it was this sprue. It came with one of these sprues. Okay, that's a lot better than it used to be then. Yeah, so that's a sprue I got. I didn't get it with this sprue. I feel cheated because I liked the idea of having double foul kites on my dreadnought. And then I found out I couldn't without buying an upgrade sprue for it. Equally, if you look at Pivot's here, you got the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought, where it gets either one of each of these weapons or as one of each of these weapons. We had this version in the big box set. Womp womp. Can Horus Heresy models being used in 40k or Vtuber? They can be used in 40k. They can definitely be used in 40k in place of Chaos Space Marines. The Contemptor Dreadnought is a little bit bigger than a Hellbrute or a Boxnaught, but it's on the same size base. So if you want to use a Contemptor Dreadnought instead of a Boxnaught or a Hellbrute, you can. Just make sure it's equipped the correct way. You can always use them in legend rules because a lot of the Horus Heresy does have legend rules. This thing can be put on a smaller base and used as like a Redemptor or something like that if you want to. That's what we did with our Saturnine. But yeah, our Saturnine only came with this one. Won't the other one either. Had to get this or buy the upgrade set. Yay! So yeah, it's not every single Horus Heresy kit, but it is some of them. They are changing some of that with some of the kits, as we've seen. But you also get it with a lot of like the infantry squads. While they do seem to have cheaper infantry, you don't get as many weapon options. Like, look at all these infantry you get. You do get the nice weapon options for your sergeant, like your plasma pistol, your power sword, your power fist and stuff. But you don't get your special weapons like your melter gun, your flamers, your heavy weapons. If you want those, you have to instead buy like these upgrade sets. But that being said, they do sell some sets that now do have them, such as you can buy the disintegration kit with a squad of infantry. And I think they've done some other ones as well like that. Now, this is kind of good in which, if you don't really care about having spare bits, it does make it a lot cheaper to have, like, the type of specialised units that you actually want. But it can be a bit annoying. It's not like I'm not used to this. Titanicus splits boxes as well. Oof. But Titanicus is basically just Heresy. Yeah, where's the other one? Yeah, so you can see other heavy weapons. Now, the thing I don't like about the heavy weapon box sets is when you look at them, it's like, you can see the heavy weapons are split up. If you want plasma cannons and last cannons, well, you have to buy the plasma cannon box and the last cannon box. The assault weapon upgrade sprue is really fun though. Because I got that. I want to convert a bunch of my stuff. Or some things, like got the cool special weapon set here. And the heavy weapon set here is nice. We got the disintegration kit with our guys. Oh yeah, this one. Super. This is really good, especially if you're trying to do Chaos Marines. Oh yeah, you can also use Horus Heresy models as tactical squads if you want to use Horus Heresy instead of the 40k version. But Horus Heresy models are a lot nicer than the current tactical squad for 40k. But yeah, like this is really good. You get a lot of different pistols like plasma pistols and stuff. But look, thunder hammers, eviscerate to chain swords, power swords being drawn, power fists, lightning claws, power maws, giant axes. Really good for like doing cool legionnaires. Like Iron Warriors would definitely benefit from getting the upgrade sprue and like the Mark III or Mark II sets. Which one's a Mark III? Is it Mark III? Yeah, Mark III would be good for Iron Warriors. Warhounds are 2 different boxes. Reavers are 2 different boxes. Warlord only comes with Claw and Plasma. If you want for cannons, it's an upgrade sprue. For War Masters or different kits. Oof. That's not fun. I mean, the 40k does that to some extent, but at least it like has the models be absolutely different models anyway. Like for Brutalis Dreadnought, for Redemptor Dreadnought, for Ballistus Dreadnought are 3 completely different kits. But they're for 3 completely different units. But then you do have things like for Redemptor and for Crusader versus just for normal Land Raider. Being 2 different kits. There we go. Oh, big old yawn. Stretches. Okay, back to model making. Back to model painting. I need a little break there. I don't know why, I've just been so exhausted recently. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like they're doing the same sort of thing where it's like, hey, you want the different weapon option? Well, buy a different kit for it. For Custodes, which is a bit sad. That being said, I'll probably just build mine as the last cannon variant anyway. I do know for non-auto cannon because big old damaging vehicles. I like my anti-tank. Not even in a meta sense, it's just anti-tank is fun. And anti-tank weapons are actually quite good anti-marine weapons. Even back when Marines had 1 wound, I always like used missile launchers to get rid of Marines because, you know, it's strength 8, so it wounds in 2s. If it is a multi-wound model, it's an instant kill unless we got the special upgrade to prevent that. And it's AP 3, so it ignores your armor save unless you got a 2+ armor save. Because back then it wasn't lower the enemy armor save, it was just ignore it or don't ignore it. We need a weapon that kills tanks but doesn't hurt people just to mess with you. Actually, there kind of is one for graph weapons. And there's a couple of other weapons that have like really good anti-tank capabilities but for like low strength. Like some of the EMP weapons in the game kind of follow that sort of rule. That being said, graph weapons are quite good, just weapons in general, because they're usually high attack, have a decent enough strength, even if it's not a super high strength. They don't have a lot of AP, but it's generally enough to be annoying to someone. And they usually damage 2 or 3 or whatever, so they're good at like dealing with Marines currently. Right now, missiles kind of suck for dealing with Marines. Simply because they do D6 damage, there's always a chance that you're going to roll a 1 and just only take 1 wound off a Marine. Not exactly a low chance if it's 1 in 6. Every 6 times you fire a missile at someone, hit and wound, which isn't guaranteed either, you're not going to do enough damage to actually get rid of a model. So the chainsaw is yellow. No, the chainsaw isn't yellow. We're painting it like this. So it's just got parts of a chainsaw. It's going to be golden. It's got to be blue, this part of the chainsaw. This one I dirtied up and scratched up a bit too much. I don't like it. You're leaving the body metallic now. The main body's going to be blue, but then I'm going to add scratches and dirt to it to, like, just... Try and make it messy, like it's been through a few battles. Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't see blue very well. I apologise if I forgot. I forgot! Accept my apologies. To be fair, the blue is also very hard to see because I just murkied it up way too much. Where the cheese? It's on its way to you. I left it with Bob. The one Bob. There we go. I'm excited for the cheese. Where that? No, no. Oh, no. I'm sure Bob can be trusted with the cheese. If you don't know the joke, it's from Ferdinand, things being worth 10 Bob in that one game. That Bayer played and I kind of watched on a collab stream. Thank goodness you are here. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Thank goodness you are here, that game. Everything in that was worth 10 Bob. And then there's a mem, which is my final situation, with my financial situation, which is like opens up wallet. There's just a tiny little mouse sleeping in the wallet. That's 1 Bob. That's Bob. That mouse is Bob. It's hilarious now that I've explained it to you, isn't it? You're now in on the joke. Explaining jokes always makes them 10 times funnier. No one can prove otherwise. First stream to get -10. No! Not my likes! Oh, the like button said Bob is terrible. Bob is terrible, that's what it said. So you have to teach that like button lesson. Give it a punch. Hit that like button. Do. I'm going to paint this, but it's very difficult. There you go. Should have probably done Wraith Bone of that bone. That's fine. There we go. Two more days until JoJo Part 7 at World Peace. Ooh, tomorrow! Tomorrow the new Black Library app, I believe, is coming online. Why am I suddenly getting an advert for Microsoft Excel? Is Microsoft doing so badly it now needs to advertise Office stuff? Oh my gosh, is Microsoft going to go under soon? I know Nvidia just saw its stocks plummet like massively over the past few months. Sudden. I know a bunch of I'm hoping like when this AI bubble pops that some of these companies just like absolutely die. And there's no coming back from it. Partly because some of the companies have been lobbying and pushing for some really restrictive and horrible stuff. Gosh, JoJo Part 7 and Microsoft collapsing 2026 are going to be the best year ever. Yeah. I still don't know what operating system I want to switch to. I need to look up, you know, those Windows ones where it's a Linux but it allows you to keep all of your Windows stuff that you had going. Go and install Basite. Basite. Do I have to still like completely unload everything from a hard drive to install it? Probably. To do that, I'm gonna have to like... Obviously... Oh, that's way too much work. Look, this is how Microsoft gets you. It knows I'm lazy. When you change a tyre, do you not take the whole car apart first? Well, look, I don't change tyres. I change cars. Oh, this car has a problem. I just get a new car. It's like, it just had a... The tyre didn't even need replacing. It just need pumping up. That sounds like a lot of work. It's more work to get a new car. No, it's not. I can just like phone this company. I don't even need to speak to anybody. I don't even need to phone them. I just text them. I was like, hey, new car, please. And then a bunch of people who look a bit scruffy, but are dressed in really nice suits, come along and they bring a new car and they attach new license plates to it. And if you also ask them really nicely, you can get a new identity. They can get your new ID cards, new passports for anywhere in the world. You can get a new name from them. really nice guys. Work really hard. And if there's someone you really, really don't like and you tell them and give them just a little bit of money, you know, that person just disappears suddenly. It's amazing. They don't do computer problems though, sadly. Also, isn't the operating system more like trying to change a car's engine? Yeah, it's more like trying to change a car's engine or something like that. Or like the entire chassis of your car. Or at least that's how I always thought of it. No, that's the motherboard. Oh. We understand you're a fake nerd. An operating system would be an axle. Well, that's still absolutely, you know, you need to take your entire car apart to, you know, replace the axle, I feel like. Hello, Albertonic or Chaos Smith. Wait, which one do you prefer, Albert or Chaos? Albert. Ah, we go. Albertonic. Welcome to the stream. Oh gosh, there we go. My neck's hurting me right now. I don't know why. Oh, I've had weird conversations on this stream today. You know, I changed my entire operating system just before my Vtuber. You've convinced me. You've convinced me. Nothing can possibly go wrong with doing that. Everything did. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. I need to create a new overlay. There we go. Well, how are you doing, Albert? I hope your day is going super duper ultra well. Nose. We're painting bit by bit. Bit by bit. All of this yellow is going to become bronze or gold eventually. I just like doing it a yellow base first. A yellow base is very nice. There you go. I'm doing better than I have been. Your girlfriend and you split a few days ago. Oh no! Sad to hear. Hope you're doing okay. Glad to say that you're doing better than you have been. There you go. There we go. Oh! Oh wait, got for gun to do. There you go. There we go. And just paint in here. Yeah. Magnify glass this and then just mess up anyway. Because I'm amazing like that. Yeah. There we go. Oh, my neck. My neck hurts. My shoulders. Oh, my body is just aching today. You've been doing better, been going walking a lot more again. Oh, that's nice. That sounds healthy. Oh, I need to get back to trying to be healthy again. There we go, but what time is it? It's 12 minutes past 7. Okay, we got a decent amount to paint. We got the whites done. We got some quite detailed work done today. With the crosses and the white tails and the knee pads. We did all the basic just going over with the skin tone on the tabards and the purity seals, the yellow, the purple here. It looks all very messy right now, but don't forget, this is what it can become. Still kind of messy, to be honest. I need to redo some of his face. It sucks. It's not too bad. It's not too bad what it can become. Yeah. Point is, trust the process. Trust the process. And it might turn into something cool. It might not. But each model is a chance to improve. And to learn. And, oh, there we go. Body is aching. Thank you for coming to the stream today, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I hope it goes well. Sorry for, like, Elba, you popping in towards the end of the stream. Sorry about that. And sorry about the fact it was meant to be a longer morning stream, but there's not much I can do about a power cut. So big love hearts to you all. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Remember to work hard but play harder. Eat good food. Sleep well. Dream of cupcakes but don't eat the cupcakes. The friends, not food. And remember, take care of yourself. Be kind to others and vice versa. Love you all. Goodbye, everyone. Yeah. Wait, how do I leave again?